Hello everyone, welcome back to Cam Good Times. As many of you know, I am a skier and a blader, and I have discovered that skiboarding is a beautiful combination of both of those things. This is only my second time trying these out, and in this edit I'll be testing out various rollerblading moves, seeing how these compare. Let's start with carving. On blades, it's nice and smooth, easy to go back and forth, and I would say it's quite similar on skiboards. The turns are much easier to initiate than traditional skis, and it just felt like a nice, easy, smooth flow like on blades. I was also curious if they could do these kinds of small slalom turns on blades, and yeah, it was just that, nice and easy. I wanted to see how well these would compare with pumping through a skate park, going down through bumps and moguls. And even though the ski hill is a bit more rough and bumpy, it felt also pretty comparable. It was real easy to pivot around on bumps and go up and down them and compress and decompress. It felt a little more squirrely and swervy than blades, but it was still a lot of fun. Now let's see how they handled jumps. Because of their lighter weight, skiboards are way easier to jump around on compared to skis. Everything felt fairly similar to blades, other than how you use your edges a little differently when you jump and land. Striding was actually pretty cool. Because of the light weight again, it's really easy to propel yourself forward and get around on the hill. My main motive for testing these out was to see how well they could do with wizard skate moves. I'm happy to say that gazelles are totally possible on these. Now it's maybe a little different. You don't use as much of an edge, but it still feels very fluid and smooth to transition. I recognize that eagles are more of a general blade move, but I wanted to incorporate them into more wizard moves, and it actually did fairly well, despite a little overlap of the board. Now this was by far the most exciting part for me. Discovering that lions could work so smooth like this was just the best feeling ever. It was awesome. Even swivels worked out. Now it was a little more challenging on these because you had to watch the edges differently, but I'll get there eventually. I can't even begin to describe how fun these were. Just flying down the mountain, doing these weird moves, giggling the whole way down. It was great. I am just purely stoked knowing there was so much potential with this. So many possible moves to be unlocked. Now just a few comments on the skiboards themselves. They were incredibly fun going down the hill at speed. In fact, I was shocked how stable they were, going quite fast. They held up real nice. I felt that I had plenty of control. It was also really easy to stop right away when needed. I'm still trying to figure out going fakie and carving, but it's totally doable. I've seen lots of people do it just like you can on blades.
Alright you guys, here's my verdict on these. These skiboards, which are the ones I'm using here, are our Summit GroovN 106 centimeter skiboards. They are unbelievably fun. I had a wonderful time with these and I so recommend them. They're really well constructed by this man named Doc Roberts out in Colorado. He was great to talk to. He's also a blader, and he gave me a bunch of tips and ideas on how to use these, and yeah, so if you have a local mountain or someplace you want to go try, these aren't nearly as expensive as skis. They're nice and wide and fat, so you can still slice through powder, go through crud, things like that without problems. You do have to lean back a little when going in powder so you could float, but they still work great. I had just a blast in these today. I'll throw in some more comparisons to come and try out some other tricks, grinds and things, and let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions about these or any thoughts, or even anything you'd like me to try out next time I'm up here. Anyways, it's been a blast up here at Bogus Basin in Idaho, and you guys all take care. Keep going at it and doing great things.